when I'm puffing on a potent, silent, but I stay strapped. Gave her wood, now she talking about family tree. You know it ain't that. Ain't got time for the bad bees, dog. I got money on mine. Watch my chain too long, have me nervous. I put money on your mind. The Cali be potent, that girl is a bogus. I can't risk my seed. My heart too low, took L's like fug. Big slime soon free. Had to drop cause the fans they keep asking. You drop trash, had the fans all laughing. Disappeared and I
Boom. Well gone, peeps. It's been a sec since we done a video, so I kind of wanted to do some kind of quick update for you. My GoPro unfortunately is not working with me. The battery is low, so we're gonna try and do this one hella quick. But yeah, it's your boy Yardman Leng, Yardman Loud, Yardman 9, G9, S9 Music, whatever you wanna call me. I just kind of wanted to show you, like, I done an update video which you guys should have seen by now. If you haven't, go check that. That's basically my up-to-date loadout for this year. But I basically switched all the pistols, and I kind of wanted to talk over that because it's very key, because these are the only pistols I'll be using this year. So I'm gonna start with the basic ones because that's what I'll be using for shooting club. Great pistols, and this is why I love the airsoft feel. So we'll start with this bad boy. Wadam. This is the Titan 7 from Vosk. You know me, I'm a Vosk gun lover. I like the more budget guns. I prefer buying something budget and building it up so it looks like a sleeper in it. They look at it and they go, oh, it's only a Vosk. But when I'm on the field destroying them, they're like, what the fuck have you done to that? And it's because I've done all these upgrades just to get to its peak performance. So I was at a game. I had bought I think it was a Raven EU18, and the gun was just giving me issues. It didn't basically do what I wanted it to do. It was a good gun, brand new. I only had it for like 4 days, and we was at Splatoon, and there was a guy who was he was having problems with this gun essentially. Now I know a Vosk, so from I saw it, and from he told me what he was facing, I knew straight away what I had to do to it. Change some bucking, change a barrel, take everything down, degrease it, re-grease it, and trust me, banging gun. I left the aesthetic exactly the same because I just thought black gun for black man, love it. You know what I'm saying? Think it's cheesy if you want, but I love the concept of that. Everywhere I go, they're like, yeah, black gun for black man, and it's quite a long barrel pistol, so it just gives me the optimum performance I was trying to achieve out of the Glock. Plus I've got that high kappa reliability, like even the trigger response, it is very responsive. Like, I'll show you quickly because it's not loaded. Very responsive, you know what I'm saying? Very fucking responsive. So that's why I love it. Plus the accuracy is amazing. What have I done to this gun? So I've basically changed the bucking. I can't take it apart right now because you basically have to take all these screws out to basically get access to this barrel. Then you pull out the slide release, and then you get access to that. I'm not going to do that in this video because it's just meant to be a quick one, but hopefully you can see what I'm seeing. If you look down in there, you essentially see that I put a pink is it gonna show it? You might not be able to see it. Maybe at, yeah, just about right there. I don't know if you can see down into the barrel, guys, because I can see it, but it's the angle of the lighting that's failing me here. Okay, there we are. If you look directly down in there, you'll see it's basically pink. Why that is because I put a 70-degree bucking inside of this, just because I feel like it ups the performance so amazing, and the closeness in terms of each shot, amazing. Accuracy jumped, and that was beautiful. I also upgraded the recoil spring, so the spring that sits down in here, or in some cases depending on which slide you have, up here in the inner, I upgraded that just to give it that reliability. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Plus there's also another spring up here on the inside the, what would you call it, like the hop up, is it? No, it's not the hop up, but the loading system. There's a spring that sits, so you see that blue thing, there's a spring that sits on the inside, so when you take out this bolt and pull out that whole upper system, there's a spring. I upgraded that again just for reliability. I wanted because this is basically my main competition pistol now. Like I use it for any kind of shooting club that we go to, use it for target practice, range shooting. It's just reliable. I love it. The mags hold 23 or 28 depending on which configuration of mag you have. I believe this one holds 28 if I'm correct. So yeah, lovely pistol. We can talk chronoing and FPS and all these things, but I always say to people, if you want to know stuff like that, come to a game, link me at a game, and I'll let you use my pistols and my guns, and you can see for yourself, because I don't want to be one of them YouTubers who's just bragging over the gun. Like, this is just an update video, because I do get all these inboxes saying, oh, so what are you using this summer? What do you prefer to use in winter? What do you prefer to use? So I'm showing you guys these things so that essentially, you know, innit? You know, you're sharing the journey with me. So that's basically my main shooting club gun. Love it. Some would say, why don't you buy the more expensive version? With the upgrades I've done. Oh yeah, do you know what? One more thing. If you look down the barrel, I put a longer barrel in there. So WE do this like extension kit for the Glock. It turns out that the Glock barrels are compatible with the high capper system, especially the Vosk ones. So essentially all I did was change the barrel, change the bucking, change the spring down here and the spring up here, and that was it. Degreased it, re-greased it, and I have not seen anything around this price margin that is anything close to this. Like, I'm going to games and I'm outdoing guys who have £400-500 pistols. Like, even some of the HPAs don't like me when I've got this, which is quite interesting because they've got a whole system and I'm only using a gas mag. Do you get it? So let's keep it moving. So that's number one. Shooting club, again, because I love the Titan platform so much, Vosk Titan platform, I ended up buying one more because one of my boys, he had one that he bought when he came into Airsoft a few years back, but it was one of them guns that he bought, used for a month, and then has been sitting in a box for near enough forever. Now, this was originally green. If you go on my shorts videos on YouTube, you'll basically be able to see what this bad boy originally looked like. It just basically had a green upper, green, and then the rest of it was black. I think this was black as well. I wanted to adjust it because obviously I didn't want to make another duplicate version of this. So I basically bought, what did I do to this? I left the spring at the top and on the slide the same because it weren't bad. Like, if you have a look, it returns fairly quick. It's just not as snappy. Like, I'll show you what I mean. It's just not as snappy as this bad boy. Like, do you see what I'm saying? This bad boy is back straight away. So in between shots, like say there's 4 guys in a room, or say shooting club, there's 4 targets. It's like bam, 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 and you're done. Whereas with this, it's more like a bam, 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 and it's still good because it gives you the chance to accurately place your shots. But that's why I did this build slightly different. So I left those 2 springs the same. I changed the inner barrel on this, but this has a bronze barrel rather than a steel barrel, which means that maybe over the next 18 months I may have to change this, whereas the other gun, where that's a steel barrel, I will leave it. The most I've got to do is clean and polish it. But that was one upgrade. I put a bronze barrel in there just because it was slightly better than the one that came in the gun, just for accuracy's sake. If you look at an angle, I'm not sure, hopefully you might be able to see. I'm going to try and move the gun around a few times. At some point I'll just do another video where I just take the guns down so you can actually see what the parts look like that I've upgraded. But I can see it, hopefully you guys can see it. It's another bucking that's on the inside of the hop, and essentially what I've did with that is it's a 65-degree bucking, but this is a cold resistant bucking. I put that one into this gun just because, as much as this is a shooting club weapon, so it goes with the black one, this is more like, I use this all the time. Like, this sits around in my room as a home defense, for example. This is like when I'm doing my home drilling, this is what I use. If we're going to a close game where it's like 1v1 and it's me versus my boys and it's not really about competitiveness, it's more about fun, I tend to take this bad boy out because, again, let me show you, because that mag's empty, whereas its mag is quite full. It's, look, it's very snappy as well. Do you get what I'm trying to say? It's very snappy as well. I had to check I didn't shoot my TV, because I did that the other day and damaged up my TV when I was trying to build this bad boy. Imagine I didn't know one was in the chamber, squeezed the trigger just to test that the mag was actually feeding. feeding gas correctly, bam, put a hole right through my TV. I was so upset. Banging TV. So if you know a good TV repairer, somebody who does OLED, shout me. I could do that right now. I don't want to sell the TV, so banging TV. But yeah, so yeah, that's essentially what I've done. So upgraded barrel, upgraded bucking, 65 degree cold resistant, and I did that just because at home I'm in England at the end of the day. More time, my environment is cold, so I want this gun to be able to perform close to its optimum even when it's cold. Do you get what I'm saying? Because they're gas guns, they're built for hot weather, right? So I'm compensating for things like my weather, essentially. And to be honest, like, I did shooting club with this yesterday and the day before. Like, it's not far off my back one. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's not far off. It's why I didn't change the 2 springs, cause like, let me see if having that little extra half a second or a second in between shots and return of the chamber does really have that much of an impact. And I would never change it on my original pistol because I feel like it's so amazing. It just makes the gun so reliable. But at the same time, using this as like home defense, it doesn't make me stutter. Like, it's really good because it gives you that second to pause, line up your shot, take the next one, pause, line up the shot, take the next one. Like, it's a nice function. It's like, it's a great training gun. So it's why I did that one that way. The whole aim, because you're probably like, it's pink, it's silver, what the hell are you doing? With this gun, because like I said, it was something fun, I wanted to more go for like a bubble gum effect. And one of my guys was like, why don't you just spray it recklessly and go really for the bubble gum thing? So like fingerprints and chewing gum areas where it looks like the chewing gum hasn't set properly and stuff like that. So I gave his idea a try, and to be honest, like, I'm 7 out of 10 happy with it. I just feel like because it's gonna go places with me, I'm gonna take it to games, take it to shooting club at times and things like that, I'm probably gonna just sand it down, get rid of that first or second layer, and then give it another proper respray just to get a more professional bubblegum look. I do like the imperfections though, like you see where it's dried funny and stuff like that, especially around the base plate thing here. If I could achieve this, how this looks on the upper, yeah, because I think I'm close to it, but it's just got a lot of imperfections. And don't get me wrong, I do want some of those imperfections, I just don't want so much. But yeah, so this is my number 2. I use it very often, and like I said, you can see the return is a bit slower. It's fast, but it's a bit slower than this bad boy over here. Like, the return is just so TT, it's just there, like it's there, it lets you know like I'm ready for you. But yeah, side by side, I call them the cousins. And I think the only thing I want to do to these 2 bad boys is maybe like, there's a charging handle thing I was looking at that your base, the plate up here is replaced with, and it basically gives you like an arm. I think I'm gonna put that on both these guns just because it would be nice to be able to charge very quick in a game as opposed to charge from the side, because it's doable, but you really have to know what you're doing. Like, it took me about a day to get used to like turning, grab, pull, back. You know what I'm saying? It took me, because it doesn't have the best grip. Like, your hand could slide. I couldn't do this with one finger. I have to put 2 hands round, charge, and then I'm back in. But it's good for training, because say when you draw from the hip, it's good because it's like you draw from the hip, you turn your burner, you charge, you know what I'm saying, and you can let it return itself. But yeah, so that's those 2, man. Banging guns. Let's keep it moving. So that's safe, because I know there's always one in that chamber. For once there isn't. That's good. I think I might have shot the one in the chamber when I emptied. Yeah, that's the BB that flew around the room a second ago. So okay, my main burner, I kind of wanted to show you this one is because this will be the one that I'll be using majority gameplay this year, all round through the year. It's not the most expensive version of the gun. This gun is called the SRC high capper. It's called the Black Viper, or some people call it the Night Viper, but the version I bought was called the Black Viper. It doesn't look exactly the same because I've made adjustments to it, but you know me, that's how I do my thing. So it's a high capper platform, you know me, like you can see my shooting club guns, high capper platform. I just feel like I had to switch from Glocks. Glocks were amazing while they lasted. I just felt like they were very problematic, and you had to spend a lot of money to basically not be reassured. Like, maybe on the, okay, like, I'm not gonna sound horrible, on the Voss EU18, amazing, because I only paid 70 quid for it, and the gun lasted maybe about a year and a half, 2 years before it was just broken. I spent quite a lot of money trying to fix it, but we never got there in the end. Like, it just was a problematic gun. It was short. Till this day, I've got the parts. Like, I could probably do a rebuild on it and get it working again, but it's just a waste of money. Do you know what I'm saying? I have built like those 2 guns, for example, for so cheap, and they do exactly what I want them to, so why would I rebuild the Glock? Do you get what I'm saying? But yeah, like I said, the SLC Night Viper or Black Viper, whichever one model you got, because they're basically the same gun, just with different uppers and different kind of color patterns, because there's like the Sand Viper as well, yeah, which is the same thing but just different color pattern, different slides, and I think they've got like a different cage thing around here and at the end of the barrel. But yeah, like, what have I done to this? Like, I spray painted it because I bought it a luminous green, which I didn't really like. So, you know me, I went for the hunter green top slide, hunter green catch, hunter green plate. What else did I do to this? Springs I upgraded. It's not the best spring. I only done like, I think it was 20% more than what it was, but it's because it feels firm. The gun is fairly heavy, like, I'm not gonna lie, compared to the other 2, and they've got long uppers. It is a lot heavier than, even with a mag in, it's still roughly about the same weight, and this doesn't have a mag in, and that does have a mag in, so that should show you, and that's got a longer upper. But one thing I do like about this, the build quality is very good. Like, everything just feels solid. Some people call this gun the John Wick. I'm not sure if I'd call it the John Wick. I'd call it a John Wick mod, because I've seen so many versions of his gun, if you want to call it that. But what else did I do? Like, I didn't want to change much to this because the build quality was pretty good. Like, the trigger system is actually metal, which on these ones it isn't. It's like some weird aluminium. I don't even think it's aluminium. It might even be plastic. Ooh, yeah, I think it is plastic, if I'm correct. Just a really good plastic. Everything on it is a good build quality. I don't even want to speak too much on it because I'm due to do a review video on this gun anyway, where I just take the whole thing down. But what else did I change? The bucking. Oh yeah, do you know what? Let me speak on that. Great gun, but one thing that didn't make sense to me, and maybe this is because the gun was quite cheap, like most high cappers of this quality would be like £200-300. I was able to pick this up for 150 or 160, I think it was. And when I bought it, I was like, what? That was a steal. And for about 2 weeks I felt like that, until I started doing things like comparing them, taking this to the firing range and this at the same time, and the results were shocking. Because like I said, in terms of upgrades, I probably spent 20-30 quid, at most 40 quid on the upgrades to this bad boy, and this was outdoing this by far. It was actually quite shocking. And one thing that didn't make sense to me was, like, this was struggling at points to shoot 2.5s straight. Even no matter, like, I'd play with the hop from start to the other end, no, like, it just wasn't helping. It was getting worse, in fact. And then something
actions ish I had to do. If we unified, we overcome slavery. Many think it, I just say it, call it bravery. Young, progressive and black, you know they hate to see independent. I don't care what labels could pay a G. So much leng past my lung. Private company feeding us GMO foods, they wanting us trapped. My young boy just came home for a booting, that young nigga tapped. Can't be slipping when I'm puffing on a potent, silent but I stay strapped. Gave her wood, now she talking about family tree, you know it ain't that. Ain't got time for the bad bees, dog, I got money on mine. Watch my chain too long, have me nervous, I put money on your mind. The Cali be potent, that girl is a bogus, I can't risk my seed. My heart too low, took L's like fug. Big slime soon free. Had to drop cause the fans they keep asking. You drop trash, had the fans all laughing. Disappeared and I